Hi, and welcome to the live training today. Get more referrals, reviews, and revenue with MailChimp. So, revenue is the bit that we're going to be talking about today. And before we get into that, I'd love to know where you're dialing in from. You can let me know in the chat. I'm in the South Island of New Zealand. It's getting a bit colder, so hence the big thick shirt. Nice sunny day, but pretty fresh this morning. But yeah, let me know in the chat where you're dialing in from. Hey Josh, up in Auckland, how you going? And a bit of housekeeping. Look, if you've got any issues around tech or sound or anything like that, let me know in the chat or the Q&A. Hey Tanya in Picton, how you going? Let me know, and I will do my best to get you sorted out. Um, Session is being recorded, and we'll send that out. We didn't get the one out. We had Easter, didn't we, last week? So it was a bit of a short week on both weeks. So we'll send out the recording for this session and the last session in one email. Hey John in Adelaide, nice and sunny for you. That's good to hear. Okay, look, these are short sessions, deliberately so. I know you're all busy, so I want to keep it nice and quick and just to give you a load of value in terms of the training side. Hey, Georgia and Melbourne, um, cloudy in Perth. Maylene, I thought it'd be nice and warm there. All right, cool. Look, let's get into it, right? So we're going to be looking at basically selling more to clients. Now, I know selling is supposedly a dirty word, and we don't do that, but it's obviously a really important part of business. So, like a little bit about myself. My name is Matt Wilkinson. I founded Bizing 12 years ago. I've actually been working with accountants and bookkeepers for about 14 years now. Worked with thousands of firms all over the globe. And that's a little picture of me climbing a frozen waterfall before I had kids, which is what I like to do in my spare time, but don't get to do very much anymore. All right, look, let's get into the session today. So, kick off with a quick poll. And I ask this question a lot. Do your clients know all the ways you can help them? So, I'm going to launch that poll, and don't feel shy because the answer that I normally get is no to this one. And while that is probably not great, it's also a good opportunity, right? Um, in terms of what you can do. So yeah, yes, no, not sure, because obviously, yeah, we're never sure. With some people, I would say I'd put myself in that category. I think it's a big opportunity for a lot of businesses. Is that it's easy to assume because we told a client what we do at some point in time, maybe when we onboarded them, that they know. But I think maybe you wouldn't be surprised, but I think you would, it would be almost like shocking if you asked all of your clients what they thought you did and what other things that you could do, how few of them actually really understood that and knew to take that next step with you. So I'll end that poll now and share those results. So yeah, I get a couple of people saying that they do think the clients know about all the ways that you can help them, but in the majority of you, yeah, it's either no or not sure. So why would we want to do that? Well, I mean, there's some pretty obvious reasons, but just to run through some of those, I think that the happiest clients are clients that you're helping the most. If you're just doing something small for a client, doesn't mean you're not going to do it well, but it's obviously there's a small amount of happiness or whatever that they're going to get from that value. The more you do, the more opportunity you can show how good you are, and that generally is makes for happier clients. And happier clients means more referrals, and because you're more embedded in their business, that generally means less churn. It's harder for them to churn. They kind of, I mean, that's the negative way of looking at it, but a positive way is looking that you're helping them more, and they don't want to go anywhere else. And what does that add up to? Well, it means that you're maximizing the revenue per client. So a shorter way of saying it, you might not need more clients to grow. You could get that revenue growth from within your existing base. So what would it look like? What would your year look like if you could sell one extra service to 20% of your clients, which is not only obviously going to be more revenue, but it's probably more profitable revenue than onboarding a client and all the kind of effort that comes from that. And I think especially in a time when hiring people is really hard, that's the probably the biggest pain point I hear at the moment with firms, then selling into your clients is really important. So that's what we're going to focus on today. And let's click onto this next. So I've just realized I'm not sharing my screen. Apologies for that. You've not missed a lot. Let me share my screen now. So you can see what we're going to look at here is a client marketing plan. So this is the fastest marketing plan you will ever create. What you how we do this, we can do this right now, or to do it afterwards. Write down all the additional services you offer, but beyond your kind of core offering that everyone gets, like your accounting and bookkeeping. So write those down. I've just put some examples there that were probably typical to a lot of you. And then put 6 months, April through September, and we're just going to assign a service to one of those months. And the idea really is then just to send clients an email letting them know that you can do that. So we'll be looking at payroll specifically in this session, but it's gonna work with any kind of service. Um, that's it, right? In my experience, most firms don't send marketing emails to their clients. They don't do a lot of marketing to their clients, so in that sense, their clients probably don't know all the ways you can help them. And just doing something as simple as going, okay, in April we're going to talk about payroll, in May we're going to talk about cash flow, and sending an email out, and I'll give you the template for that in just a second. It can be so effective. And there's obviously more you can do beyond that, but just in simple plan like that of going, okay, next 6 months we're going to talk about these things. It's okay to repeat stuff as well. In fact, I'd suggest you do that. So if you really want all your clients to know about all the stuff that you do, you're going to have to say it a lot of times. You often find that you do the first one, it's a bit disappointing. Second one, a bit better, and it can be like the third, fourth, fifth kind of touch that you do that actually is where all the kind of leads come in from. Case in point, we did a little survey to clients asking them what content they wanted. First send of it, you got like a handful, like 4, 5, or 6 or something like that. We've got over 40 now by just sending a couple more emails. And it was like the third email that obviously people had seen it a couple of times, thought, oh no, I'll do that, but I'll put it off to another day. So you've got to repeat to be to be kind of effective. Now, the other thing is that you might think, okay, such and such client doesn't want that, but people's businesses grow and evolve, right? Like you don't necessarily know that they've taken on staff, they need payroll now, they've grown. All these different things can happen, and you might not have heard from them from a little while. So I think that's another reason to not necessarily assume that people know what you wanted, because at the time you sort of told them about it last time, they weren't interested. Things have changed, and now they are interested. So before we get into actually like the sending of emails, I'm going to launch another quick poll. Interested to know if you actually do send marketing emails to clients. So I'm not talking about newsletters here, like I'm talking about promotional emails where you're trying to sell something to a client, or at least talk to them about different products and services. So interested to know, if you regularly do that, occasionally do it, or you never do that. Again, like my experience is most firms don't do it regularly. They'll do the odd thing, and but like not consistently. And in terms of how often I would be suggesting doing this, well, like monthly, like I'm saying here, I would be sending something at least monthly. I think your client base is obviously a massively valuable asset in your business, probably the most valuable asset. And talking to your clients about the ways you can help them is super important. So just close that off. So yeah, like bit of a mixed bag in there, but I think that that'd be my experience. But occasionally or never is what most firms are doing or not doing. So let's actually get into how we would do that, how we would sell more to clients, or we can call it helping, whatever. So I'd be looking at, like I say, doing a monthly email blast. We're going to use MailChimp to do that. Segmenting your list is really important, and that's really easy in MailChimp with tags. So obviously, you don't want to send payroll emails to people, probably to freelancers, right? Not that you couldn't do that for them, but most aren't going to be interested. Um, so segmenting your list to groups of people who you think are going to be interested in that service. You don't want to annoy clients by sending something that's irrelevant to them, and it's just going to help your engagement of your emails if you send it just to the right people. And like I said, repetition is essential. You've got don't expect things to happen on that first email. I mean, it could be like send 2 emails and then even call people who open the email, that kind of thing. And I know people don't feel like that's maybe what they want to be doing, but in my experience, people do need to be nudged quite a bit before they take action. And generally, if you call somebody, they're quite happy. Like, oh God, I was going to reach out to you. I'm glad you called me. Appreciate that. That's generally going to be the response that you're going to get. At worst, I think it's going to be like, oh, actually, I'm not interested in that. I don't think you're going to annoy anyone with that by being proactive. So we're going to use a template to demonstrate this, like you can see on screen, about selling payroll. And I'm going to talk through that template and the kind of mechanics of that. Now, you can grab that from this doc here. It's the same doc I've been sharing throughout the whole series. I'll just jump that in there. But if you want us to add this to your MailChimp, I'll send a form. I'll drop it in the chat in a minute and we'll send it on the email. We're happy to go in there and add that for you for free, to add all of the templates that I've been doing in these 3 live trainings. So real simple template, the subject line, do you want help with payroll? A bit of a preview line. So I think this is a nice approach. Like, not sure if you know, but we can handle payroll for you. So it's, kind of fairly gentle introduction, some key benefits of that service. Because people might, I know people kind of know what payroll is, but do they fully understand? So like talk about some of the benefits of that, like no more filing mistakes, save time. We send the pay slips to, let's just say, your team members, not clients. And then a testimonial. A testimonial can be super valuable in this situation, just to make it real. So like other clients have said, it's a massive time and stress saver. Here's what one person said recently, and it's better coming from someone else, right? Like, you can say whatever you like, but if it's a real testimonial, people can see that. So like, yeah, I made a mistake with paying, it upset the whole team. I've seen that happen on my business, but I've seen it happen in another business, and it was a massive issue. Having it handled by you guys gives me peace of mind. I didn't also realize how much time it was taking, worth every penny. I've obviously made that one up, but that kind of thing can be really, really powerful. And then an important element in any promotional email, I would almost say any email, is a simple call to action. So how do I take the next step? And it's just to book a meeting. That's probably what it's going to be, and make that easy by putting the meeting link in there. So it's short and direct. The benefits are clearly stated. We've given an example, which is ideally a testimonial as well, and we've given a simple next step. That's it. We don't need to be more complicated than that, because you're going to do most of the explanation and selling of this when you talk to somebody. And so to see that in MailChimp itself, I've got a draft campaign here. Now, this would work in other email builders if you want to just grab the template, but I'm just going to show you in MailChimp. So I've sent this to the whole list here. Like I said, you might want to segment that list with tags. Say you have personal and business clients, you'd want to just send this to ones tagged business, for example, because the personal ones aren't be interested in payroll. We talked about the subject line and the preview text. In terms of when you would send it, I would always say the same thing: is Tuesday to Thursday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And I would probably lean towards the 10 a.m. In my experience, that tends to do better. And then we go into the email itself, and it's just what I've been talking through there. So the only things that I would add here is using the personalization, excuse me, in MailChimp. that can pull in their first name. Just make sure that you've got that sorted in your database. It can bring through some weird stuff, so that's worth checking that column. That's it, right? And have that link to your meeting booker. I'd really recommend that. If it's like, don't link them off to your contact page. Don't make it hard for people. If you don't have a meeting booker, almost just be like, hit reply and type payroll and I'll call you or something like that. Make it really, really simple for people to take the next step. And that's it. That's how I would sell a product into my client base. If I had an accounting firm, just real simple stuff like that. You can switch out payroll for something else. Business owners are busy. They don't want like a load of waffle. Just get to the point, that it's not, you're not trying to close a sale here. You're trying to get them to book a meeting. And that's where you're going to, in that meeting, talk about all the things that, excuse me, you can do. If you want a slightly different approach, some people might find that salesy. I mean, like you say, you can tell I disagree with that, but like some people like a bit more of a slightly different approach, and you can do kind of like an open question approach. Now, oh, that's kind of not come through. I changed that image, but let me jump in here and I'll show you in this template. So this is the open question approach. So selling to clients by starting a conversation. So like the subject line be like other ways we can help you. And very simple one, like you might not know all the ways we could help you, which is true, probably like looking at the stats. I was chatting to a client the other day and they thought we just do accounting and tax, probably very common. I've seen that happen quite a few times. We actually do a heap of other stuff from cash flow through to business planning. So we're not saying, we want to help you with payroll or this or that. And then we just ask the question. It's always questions, one question in an email is always good. So is there anything in business or financial that's on your mind? If we can't help, I'll point you in the right direction. Thanks, and your name. So it's a nice, simple conversation starter. You could reword it in other ways, but I think that just keeping it nice and open, raising that thing that people might not know all the ways that you can help them, and then asking that question. And what you might start off talking about might be something very different to where you end up landing. You're not trying to in any way sell in this email. It's just start that conversation, which is like, hey, we can help you with that, or if we can't, I'm going to put you in the right direction. And that's just a chance to offer, go the extra mile with service, and who wouldn't want to do that as well. So that's it, really. They're two emails that I think can get you a long way. The first one, because, you can just switch out your services, do that for every 6, 12 months, however many additional services you've got, and just repeat, right? There's certain times of the year, obviously certain things are going to be more suitable. But if you want that more general type approach, I mean, you wouldn't be wanting to do the same email like this every month. It might be like once a quarter. Really powerful one, I think, to start a conversation. And a handful of people will respond to that, and a handful of them book meetings, and then it's over to you to do that selling piece. So that is the end of the live trainings we've been doing. Interested to know, would you send campaigns like that to your clients? I'm just gonna let's not let me launch that one. I might have to unshare one. That's it. So yeah, interested to know if you would send a campaign like either of those to your clients. While you're doing that, we're MailChimp certified now, and we're really boosting up what we do in terms of MailChimp. If you want us to add those templates to your MailChimp, we can do that. You can connect to our MailChimp & Co. account, which is like an agency account, and we can add those for you. So I'll put the form in there. Just let us know if you want us to do that. And also happy to give you a free audit of your MailChimp. We'll look at things like how you've got your list set up, what you're sending, and give you some recommendations on that as well. So we're happy to do both of those for free. You just have to give us access. You can revoke that as well, but it just enables us easily to get in and do that. We're not going to change anything or That we're just going to have a look around. Um, so happy to stick around and answer any more questions. Like I say, we'll be sending out the recording. So the first session was about asking for referrals. Last week we talked about asking for reviews on things like Google, and this session is obviously about getting more revenue from clients. So no one said they wouldn't send campaigns like that to the clients. Quite a few said yes. Um, I think they're just really simple and helpful campaigns. I don't think there's anything salesy in there. I think, especially if you segment your list of people who might want that thing, I think they'll really actually value that aspect of it. But I'm happy to stick around and answer any questions. Maylene, thanks for coming along. I appreciate you coming. I hope they have been useful. These are really tried and tested campaigns, these ones today and the other ones. So I'm confident they'll work for you because I've seen them work for lots of firms in the past. Happy to answer any questions now. We'll be sending out a recording of the session. And if you want to connect with me beyond that, I'm always happy to connect with people on LinkedIn. I'll drop my LinkedIn in there. If you want to talk marketing, MailChimp or otherwise, book some time with me in there. But yeah, let me know any questions you might have about MailChimp or email marketing in general. Happy to stick around and answer those. And but otherwise, yeah, you've got my details. You can drop me a message. Like I say, we'll be doing a lot more with MailChimp over the next little while. So if that's a platform you're using, yeah, definitely happy to help there and tell you about the services we'll be offering. Yeah, okay. Well, look, I can't see any questions coming in here. I promised to keep these short sessions, so I'll let you get your day back. Thanks heaps for coming along. And yeah, we'll send out the recording for this session, last week's session, and those resources for you in the next couple of days. Thanks, Judy, for coming along. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.